Like it's.
Oh, I don't have time for this.
That would have been
Everything
funny,
looks
though. Hey, good morning.
slanted.
Welcome to the Stokastic.com NFL First Look Strategy Show, the greatest first look strategy show of the week across any channel for any sport, is right here, right now, 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. Dave Loughran, Ben Rasa coming off an interesting week. I was fine on Sunday, dude, but I got clobbered on that doubleheader last night. And the worst part was I woke up at 2 in the morning. My arm was numb from sleeping on it. So I'm like, shaking it out. Wife turns over and says, "What the hell are you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
Thought I was whacking off, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Then none of that happened. She was asleep.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, after that, because I fell asleep at like 11:30. It wasn't happening. Plus, Gino was an abomination. I wake up and I check the score and I'm like, ugh. Then I check DraftKings and I'm like, that's weird. My balance didn't move since I fell asleep. And then I go into recents and I go, that's why. That's why.
So I've done this many a times. Did the classic where I'm like, man, I can't believe they haven't paid the slate out yet. It's like, no, they did. You just didn't affect anything. I also went to sleep around maybe about 11:30 and whatnot. And I wasn't in bad shape. I wasn't in good shape. It was up in the air. And I always kind of know that if something really good happened, I probably would have a bunch of texts or a bunch of notifications on Twitter.
That's what I always think too.
Because I'm like, there's somebody would have noticed. So I wake up, no joke. I got a text from you right in the morning, and I'm like,
it was like 6:30 a.m.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh shit, maybe, and it just literally like I got destroyed last night, which is not what I was looking for. Then I checked the score. It's a 2-game slate. It is what it is. But what an ugly 2-game slate.
What did you think it was going to be me being like, yo, congrats last night?
That's more what I was hoping for. Like, wow, sick hit. It was not that.
Nope. That's not what it was.
No, it wasn't.
Anyway, it's a new week. We turn the page. You got to have some, selective amnesia when it comes to this stuff. Glad to have you guys with us as always. If you don't mind, I need to atone for some sins after last night. Atone for your sins. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below if you're listening or watching after the fact. Let me know. What's your favorite stack this early in the week? I have one. I told Ben what it is. It's gross. I don't care. I got to get off the schneid, man. And if that means me doing something a little crazy, I'm going to do it. But anyway, what was I going to say to you? What was I going to say? I don't remember.
I can't.
Must not have been that important. But I feel like it was.
My camera's angled, but it's not.
I feel like it was important. I don't know. We'll think through it. Oh, you know what I was going to say is that I thought I was going to have a good night. I had the over on the CJ Stroud rushing prop. Perfect read. I was like, he's going to do this on one rush. I even reached out to you about it because you're the Stroud whisperer in the rushing department. And you're like, yeah, I love it. Ends up, he had a 19-yard run early on. That was it. That was a wash. Easy. Then they score, right? They score late in the game because I'm on Texans minus 2.5. Thinking, we got it. They're not going to fall to 0-2. This defense has been stellar all game, totally shutting down Baker Mayfield. Nope. Baker drives downfield, chews up the remaining 4 minutes or whatever, 1.5, 2, 3, whatever it was on the clock. And they go on to win that game, Ben. So after that, I think everything just went downhill.
Yeah, I was on the same thing, and it all connected at the same time. So I had a boosted parlay with Chubb to score Texans minus 2.5 as the legs that were not cleared. Yep. And so he scored to push the Texans over the top. And then I don't know, these games and the Bucs tried to screw it up. Like, they cost themselves one extra play late. I wish it would have came down to that. Like, they should have taken time out earlier. They had 9 seconds left for 3 plays. And I don't know if they would have got all 3 off, but your boy Rachaad White, who actually, you know what, I'm not going to say anymore because it'll lead into the Goblin segment. But yeah, he scored the game-winning touchdown.
Are you goblining Rachaad White?
No. Why would I do that? He was awesome last night.
He had a nice game. Before we get into week 3, and this is a good one. It is a 13-game slate. You have no doubleheader on Monday, no Friday game. But it's actually not that crazy. I think it's a nice slate. I looked over it last night, put the run sheet together for this show. We're going to talk about it. But, of course, before we do, one thing is more important than anything else at this time of day, this time of year on this very show, Ben. It is the Goblin of the Week, presented by Brandon Staley and Nathaniel Hackett. A running theme here each and every time we do it. What I'd like to do here is, all right, just lean like that. There you go. Do me a favor and just lean to your other way. There we go. Okay, see, that works perfectly. That's good, right? We'll just lean here until the segment is over. Good?
Yeah, that's smart. Or you could take the picture off, one or the other.
No, just leave it. Just leave it right there. It's going to be a great segment. All right. So
what one was that?
Explosion. All right. So I have a Goblin of the Week, and I think he's going to be the presenter. I actually think if he gets fired in season, which is a very real possibility, you know what happens? He immediately replaces Brandon Staley and Nathaniel Hackett as the Goblin of the Week. Why? Because they presented last year as well. It's Mike McDaniel. And it's not just the coaching. Oh, next time. Tee me up for that.
I was trying, but yeah.
Dan, that's good. All right. Yeah. Next time we'll tee each other up for Goblin of the Week, because that could have been more climactic than it was.
I know.
You're right. All right. My apologies. Mike McDaniel. And it's not even on the field stuff. It's after the game. And again, everyone's coming over to my side. They're seeing that over the years, I've been right about him the whole time. I will victory lap and pat myself on the back for this one. Don't hesitate to tell me in chat, hey, Loughy, you know what? You're wrong plenty, but this time you were right. I'll say, I appreciate your honesty. Him going into the pressure and being like, you can't win games if you lose, and you can't lose games if you win. And saying that type of, once again, unintelligible word salad is what it is, right? It's all this like pedantic garbage. Nobody wants to hear it. And once you start losing games and giving up 30-plus points every week, Ben, people start to get sick of it pretty quick. Mike McDaniel, for me, clear Goblin of the Week. Maybe of the year.
Yeah, probably. He's done. They're done. There's no chance after they lose to Buffalo on the short week in Buffalo, which is the worst possible spot, that he doesn't get fired, I think.
All right. Who's your Goblin?
So, I'll be honest. A round of applause for society. Pretty good, I think.
Right,
that many stupid things.
I'm done.
Okay. But seriously, I didn't think there was that many. Like, the Cardinals would have been super Goblin.
Was that 27-3 at one point, right?
It was actually 99.99% that they won that game. They had to give up multiple touchdowns, then an onside kick. Then they committed like 7 penalties, and they still won. All of that, you're not the Goblin. But you know who I'm going to go with the Goblin? First time ever, I think. Not a team. Not a player. Not a coach.
Is it fans?
No.
Is it? Let's hear it.
It's Troy Aikman.
Okay.
Troy Aikman didn't know that Rachaad White and Bucky Irvin were 2 different people. If anybody watched that game last night, he
absolutely did.
Repeatedly thought that Bucky Irving must have had 50 carries in that game, because he's just like, man, he's getting stronger as the game goes on. It's just like, no, that's number 1. That's Rachaad White. That's just not even Bucky Irving. And he just kept calling him Irving. And Joe Buck would try to say another run by White, and then Troy Aikman would just be like, this Bucky guy is unbelievable. He absolutely didn't know they were 2 different people the whole game. And Rachaad White is not like spelling him. He had a real part of that game.
He had like 12, 13 touches in the game and goal line carries. Yeah.
Not good, Troy.
What would he have done if they were running like 2 running backs in the backfield? They run a trick play. Bucky Irving throws it to Rachaad White.
Yeah, to himself.
Like, Bucky Irving to Bucky Irving.
He just didn't. It was insane. At first I was just like, oh, because I do that with guys. Like I was doing it last night with Dalton Schultz and Harrison Bryant a little. Like they're both tight ends, both have an 8 in front of the. But man, at some point when it's like Rachaad White had a couple drives where he took like 5 straight carries, you have to realize it was really rough. I'm not gonna lie.
Also, when you're getting paid for it.
Yeah, no, you should know that. You should know what's going on. He did not. Mike McDaniel is the answer, but Troy Aikman, it was
I think that's good. That's creative.
Yeah, it was a rough one last night for him.
That was Goblin of the Week. Presented
by
Brandon Staley and Nathaniel Hackett. Soon to be Mike McDaniel waiting in the wings. Let's go, brother. Let's talk about it. We'll break down any, week 2 recaps and stuff as we get to some of these players. I think that'll be, the way to do this. You on board?
Yeah.
All right. So pulling up DraftKings here. Quarterback position, you have some injuries. Joe Burrow is out 3 weeks. Or I'm sorry, 3 months at the very least. Brock Purdy, I don't know if he's going to play. Jaden Daniels has a knee injury. J.J. McCarthy's out with an ankle, but that may be a good thing. That guy's played 7 bad quarters and 1 good quarter of football, and it came against the Bears team that just coughed up 52 to the Lions. A lot of injuries here. Can I just tell you straight away who the guy that I want to get to this week, and I want to get a lot of, and you may find it disgusting, but you know what? I don't even care.
Go on.
It's Caleb Williams. I am at this point convinced that this Cowboys defense is atrocious, and they may make for some of the best shootout environments that we could possibly ask for. I know Caleb hasn't been particularly good, right? But week 1, he was fine. Week 2, fantasy points, you can live with that. I think this could be the type of game where you've got, look at some of these price points, dude. Rome Odunze is 5,300. DJ Moore is 5,400. These guys are just flat out dirt cheap. And I know we usually go by tier here, but I had to mention it to you because I think this stack, if you're plugging in what is he, $5,600? And I hope nobody else does this for 2 reasons. One, I'd like to be the only one to win money in this event. Not going to happen. But also, I don't need anyone telling me I'm an idiot for playing Caleb Williams if things go south. But look at that, dude. 5,600 per player remaining with Williams, Odunze, and Moore. Just take a cheap defense. Now you're talking 6,300 for your remaining 5 players. I like it quite a bit.
All of this is very hard to argue with. Caleb Williams makes a lot of stupid mistakes, but that doesn't hurt you from a fantasy perspective anyway. This is just a little shot at the Bears. What exactly was the point of drafting all these weapons that they don't use?
Is
this Loughlin character? What exactly is he doing? Luther Burden, what exactly is he doing?
I wish I could tell you, but typically teams that, at least in my experience, you've seen it recently too, right? Where teams that place this heavy emphasis on drafting all of these flashy skill players and all of this typically have huge, giant, glaring holes elsewhere.
Yeah, like the offensive line.
And should address them. Now, they actually brought on several really good free agents on the offensive line. It may just take time for them to gel. It's entirely possible. Look, we're 2 weeks into the year. They have a brand new head coach, right? They have new guys on the offensive line. I don't want to overreact too much, but if I am doing it, I probably am just double stacking Moore and Odunze.
Yeah, this is going to be a popular spot. It's an easy stack. It makes sense. We'll see what the weather is. It's very early in the week, but shouldn't be anything too crazy. It's still very warm, obviously. The weird thing about this slate is we're going to have multiple starting quarterbacks at $4K, $4,000.
But I don't want any of them, I don't think.
Really? I might put Mariota. I don't even know. Is Mariota the starter? I assume that he.
Yeah, we'll talk about. I played a lot of Mac Jones last week. I thought Mac Jones was actually pretty good, all things considered.
He was.
You know, on another, because when I'm saying that, when I know I took some heat for saying that, like, he's not that big of a downgrade from Purdy. Look, we got 23 from a 4K quarterback. Juwan Jennings, anytime touchdown, by the way, had a solid game. McCaffrey was good enough. He was in the Millie winner. The problem is that it didn't matter if you did, because Russell Wilson doubles, right? And then, like, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 3 touchdown game. On another slate, my Mac Jones triples, and could have won me tournaments, at the very least put me in a really good position. Instead, I basically broke even.
This is more of a macro take, but typically when you pay down for a stack, you want lower scoring slates.
Yep.
Because the raw points, like Mac Jones can like 6x his salary, but when someone goes for 50 raw points, it doesn't really matter.
You're right. You're absolutely, especially Russell Wilson, because he was also cheap.
That was it. Yeah. I mean, that whole thing. I don't know. I think it's early, so don't quote me, but I think I have more interest in the flat fours than you do.
Well, who? I mean, we don't have to go by tier here. Let's just talk about some guys we like at the quarterback position. If you're going down to the 4K range, you have a number of options here, but so you have Jake Browning is he 4K flat?
I have no idea.
No, he's 5,500.
That's an awful price.
I'm very out on. I don't know if I would have wanted to play him at 4K against Brian Flores' defense, to be completely honest with you.
Agree.
Who else are we looking at then? Wentz?
Mariota?
All right, so Wentz against Cincinnati at 4K.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Hot take.
Go ahead.
Wentz is going to take the job permanently.
No, he won't.
If he wins 2 or 3 games in a row, there is going to be a problem in Minnesota.
That I agree with, because they're not
permanently, like forever, for the record. I'm just saying it's not 100% that he gives the job up.
Totally get it. They did it with Sam Darnold, and he was a reclamation project. Granted, that was J.J. McCarthy injury, but you know what? Who's to say, Ben, that the same thing couldn't have happened last year, where even if McCarthy was healthy coming into the season, if he struggled a ton, then Darnold just came in. I'll tell you, Carson Wentz, everywhere he's gone since, 2 seasons in Philly that were quality, and outside after the ACL, he was never the same. Right. He went, how many different places did he go? He went to the Colts. He went to Washington. He went to the Chiefs. I think he was on one more team, but I can't remember. Either way, maybe you're right. Maybe Kevin O'Connell can make him good. I'll hop on board with you at 4K against a very bad Bengals defense.
I like this. Conspiracy. McCarthy isn't even injured. He got benched and using injury to mask it. I'm down with that conspiracy theory.
First off, Justin, good to see you, man. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Maybe, but also no.
Probably not, but I'll just say this. They're not that, I don't think it's that big of a deal. They probably want to see what Wentz can do. And if he plays well, they're going to keep him in there.
I guess the question is, like, what happens? You go, listen here, JJ, you're hurt. And he goes, Coach, I'm fine. He says, you're fucking hurt, JJ. And he goes, but I'm fine. No, you're hurt. And you're going to tell people you're hurt. And here's the play. And here's the play you hurt your ankle on. If anybody asks you, you are hurt. I mean, that seems unlikely that he's just going to stay quiet.
But a more reasonable conspiracy off that one, and I do believe this, if J.J. McCarthy had 5 touchdowns against the Falcons,
he plays next week.
He plays next week.
I can get on board with that.
Like, he's hurt, but they're telling him, let's take it, let's step back. Let's be smart about this because of the play on top of him being hurt.
It's like the JJ on a scale of 1 to 10. How bad's the pain? He's like, I don't know, Coach, a 1.5. It's a 10.
Yeah. All right, well, let's take a seat then.
Yeah, right.
What?
All right. Well, you didn't say one. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Jaden Daniels is going to sit?
Yes.
You do? I
Yeah.
don't think he is.
Oh, I do. The line crashed.
Did it?
Yeah. It
Well,
came
what
down
was it?
4 points.
What's it at?
It was, well, I mean, maybe it's gone back up, but it moved yesterday. It was sitting at 6 and it crossed 2.5. So
Sitting at Commanders -6, moved through a field goal down to 2.5.
yes.
I wonder if it went up just after seeing how terrible Geno Smith was yesterday.
Yeah, that's also,
He was awful.
that's why I'm saying, I mean, well, that game, I didn't get to see it all, but from the box score, it seemed very, very bad.
I didn't see it all. I went back and watched just some like highlight pieces of it this morning, but 3 interceptions in your home opener, in your debut with the Raiders. I can't imagine that's the way he drew it up.
No, can't imagine, but it's crazy how bad the top options look relative to the pay down options this week.
Would you play Mariota?
Yeah, I think I would.
I don't know if I'd want to, honestly. He's not
So
great.
the problem is I don't know if I'm going to need to. I actually don't think it's bad, but you have another 4K option. You have Caleb at 5. You have a million guys right in the 5s. You have soft pricing still. So, like, why am I trying to do that?
I hear you. I know it sounds nuts when I say it. Like I actually think Mac Jones isn't bad. So that's why. And also it was the Saints, right? But I don't think Wentz is good. I do think in a home matchup, it's viable enough because he has Justin Jefferson and he has some weapons there. Here's the concern I have, and I think you might see eye to eye with me on this one. Maybe not. The fact that Aaron Jones is not expected to play, right? And that Jordan Mason is, where's his price point? He's cheap. He's like 5,400. If Aaron Jones is out, and from what I saw with that hamstring is he's expected to miss time. Yep. I think he's going to miss from what I read. If he, how do you not get to Jordan Mason against the Cincinnati Bengals at home? And I'll even say it with a backup quarterback. Like they may just try and feed this guy.
They might. This is a weird situation, though, because these prices are so cheap, you could just play both of them.
You could. I don't know if I'd want to, though, but you could.
I'm not saying I'm looking to do that, but, like, if you go Wentz, Mason, Jefferson, even if they get one touchdown on the ground and then Wentz, like, you don't need that. It's not like they need to hang 40 points for that to be effective. Like, it's a weird situation in that regard.
Yeah, I get it. And also, last week isn't going to happen every time. Like, again, I honestly felt in week 1, I felt like I made some mistakes, and it was reflected, In week 2, it's a fine week, but I felt like I made all of the right decisions, Ben, and it still went wrong. Not wrong, but not what it could have been. Like I said, I'm going to big Tua stacks here. Tua, Devon Achane, Hill. I'm not saying Hill and Waddle exploded, but Tua was good, 300 plus yards. I think he had 3 touchdown passes or something. Achane was great. Doesn't matter. Sometimes it just doesn't matter. So if you're right, not that you're suggesting it's going to be a lower scoring week, but if it is, then yes, you don't need those 4K pairings with the $5,400 running back to both give you 35.
Exactly. It's just sometimes you have to plan out the slate backwards, and there's no way anything's possible, but I would say there's no way that, like, Carson Wentz has some type of tactical, like, his job is going to be to manage the game, maybe throw a couple touchdowns, pick off a couple runs, and get out of there. If you're talking about a slate where, big time players, but again, we have to look at the slate. We don't have Lamar. We don't have Josh Allen. So the chances that a quarterback goes for like 40 or 35, it really is mitigated. Jalen Hurts is not doing that right now, and it doesn't seem like he's going to need to for quite some time. I don't think this slate is, and Jalen Daniels is hurt. So who exactly is like nuclear upside quarterbacks on this slate?
No, I hear you. Can
Daniel
it happen?
Jones.
Can it happen? Sure. I mean, listen, it happened with Russell Wilson last week. So it can happen. But is it likely to happen? Probably not.
No.
I think go ahead.
No, just the Russell Wilson thing is like a that's in the anything can happen bucket. Like there's
that's
no
that's the exception to the rule. It's an anomaly.
If Lamar goes for 40, you're like,
right.
Anyone can technically go for 40. Russell Wilson, there is no evidence or logic of why he went for 40.
But it's even worse when that happens because, like, if it happens with Lamar, I know I at least have pieces and I have some outs, right? 90% of the time, I'm going to have at least a little bit of a Lamar in a good spot. With Russ, so many of us you just have none.
Zero. There was no scenario where I didn't even consider him at any point.
He threw for 450 yards, dude. He's done that twice in his career, and that was the second time. Nuts. Anyway, let me get back to the point here. I'll give you the guys I think look good, and I want yours. Not because we've laid the foundation. Dak Prescott and Caleb Williams. I don't see why I wouldn't target that game. I haven't even looked at the total. I genuinely don't care what it is. I think it has shootout. There you go, 49.5. Shootout potential. I'm not going to be the only one saying this. I get that, right? I fully understand that people watch football and see these games as I do. These are two shitty defenses. Jalen Johnson, star cornerback for the Bears, is also going to be out for what looks like an extended period of time. That doesn't help. So those are the two guys that I think I may just lean into heavy this week. I really might.
Yeah, again, there's really not much here. I'm with you there. If I had to, again, I think what Daniel Jones is doing shouldn't be ignored. He's playing great. They're playing great. So it's not going to keep up, but his price doesn't seem to budge. And you couldn't ask for a better start to his Colts career.
I think they're for real. I'm not surprised by it. That offensive line in New York has been terrible for a long time. I mean, I feel like we discussed it every week last year, how it just made it like an untenable situation for any quarterback behind the line of scrimmage there. But what are you laughing at?
Because it's true. And then it's like, and then Russ had 500 yards passing behind it yesterday.
I know.
So
I know. I mean, things can happen, but also I think I'm not saying it wasn't an amazing game. I'm really taking nothing away from Russ. That deep ball to Neighbors, some of the passes he
also
made
lost the game. Let's be real.
And they lost.
One of the worst passes I've ever seen in overtime.
Oh God, it was terrible. Right? Because that's what he does at this stage. However, I think it's also an indictment on this Cowboys defense, right? It has to be.
Yeah. This is just going to be a weird slate.
Who are your quarterbacks? Like, I don't love Daniel Jones against Tennessee. I think this could be the game where Tennessee's kind of sneaky. Not to win, but just to, another divisional spot for them. They were keeping it close last game. I don't know if you saw that cross-body, cross-field throw from Ward to Iomanner.
I did see that.
That was sick. They still got crushed. But it's a home divisional spot. It feels kind of like not a letdown game for Indy, but the defense steps up for Tennessee, and this becomes a tight, low-scoring game. That's just the vibe I get from it.
Yeah, quarterbacks, I mean, like you said, obviously the Dallas Bears game. I'm going to make a case for Wentz, and I'll make a case for C.J. Stroud, just because there's not that much to really say here. And he's 5,500. He seems fine. Jacksonville, they got issues. So there's just not a lot. And, I want to say Baker, but first of all, Baker took an absolute beating yesterday. And I still don't really want to pay more just for the sake of paying more.
I was thinking the same thing as you are. Because you're looking at the Jets, you're like, man, what a terrible performance. The defense has now coughed up 64 points in 2 games. Yeah, would I play Baker here? Sure.
Yeah,
But to your point, do I need to? And I don't think you need to play him here.
No, and we'll see. I mean, again, running back as we get there, it's not expensive, but it's certainly not cheap. Like you have at least guys in the high 7s, low 8s.
I'll mention one more. If Drake May against Pittsburgh, that Pittsburgh defense with the injuries, they look bad right now. But I don't think I want to do that. I will go to some Kyler Murray against San Francisco. I think he'll be low owned. He has rushing upside. He has 2 super viable weapons in the passing game. That to me would be my sneaky quarterback stack and team stack of the week.
I mean, I've been on Kyler the first 2 weeks. I'm sure I'll have some. The tricky thing about this is I need to see the percentages because, like, Drake May, you want to make that stand, amazing. He's going to be low owned, sneaky stack. And I'm just saying if, this is not going to be the case. If Caleb is low owned, then why would you make that stand? Why not just play Caleb? You know what I mean? So it's like we need to see where this is breaking down because
exactly
somebody's going to be popular. Some quarterback has to be somewhat popular. So we need to see how this adds up to 100% because right now I don't see it.
Neither do I. But as I've mentioned, Caleb just ignoring ownership is probably, as crazy as it sounds, he's probably my favorite quarterback.
But do you think he'll be the highest owned quarterback?
I do think he's going to be very popular this week, and I think Dak will as well. Yeah,
I agree.
I think that game is going to be popular. Doesn't mean I won't play it, but it definitely means I'd be willing to look elsewhere. Because if Caleb Williams, everything we're saying right now, we always try and preface it with this, can change based on what ownership looks like. Doesn't mean you full out fade him, maybe. But if we come into this, Ben, and now Caleb Williams is like the chalk of the slate, and you're telling me that I can get leverage by fading Caleb Williams chalk, of course I'm going to do that because I'm not insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just about, again, you don't get bonus points for making some crazy call outside of ownership. But if its ownership was all the same, you're choosing best available because that's what you have to go off of. And right. I think we're both saying Caleb would be best available. But if you tell me I get 1/15th the ownership with a guy right next to him that I think beats Caleb straight up 35% of the time, I would make that pivot every day. Simple as that.
That's why this show is fun, right? Because we can kind of try and guess what the landscape is going to look like.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, again, it's a first look for a reason, but that's my game plan. Yeah.
Let's go to the running back position. Man, it is a fun position today or this week. It is loaded. I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, Ben, and I know you have some good players up here, Bijan Robinson will be mega chalk at 7,900 against the Carolina Panthers. I'd say prove me wrong, but there's simply no way anybody can because there's no way Bijan Robinson is not super, super chalky at 7,900 against the Panthers. And guess what? I still like him.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he would have been really popular regardless. But we just talked about quarterback, and I don't know if we mentioned a guy seriously over 6K. So you're going to have boatloads of money to spend.
Do you like Penix Jr.? Sorry, I have to ask you against Car. Could that? Really. I'm only asking because what if the like if Bijan's super, super chalky, there could be some path where the way you get different, you could play Bijan with Penix Jr., right, with another guy, or you could play Penix Jr. without Bijan and get to like a double stack, and it just breaks that way.
Could do that, but you could also just play Bijan and Pitts or Bijan and London without Penix.
You could, and I mean, that's one of my favorite things to do.
Again, I'm fine with Penix. He's indifferent. I'm a Bijan truther. I was early on Bijan. One of the few things I've gotten correct over the years. I think he's the best player. I really do. Yeah, he's going to be crazy popular. I'm not sure you need to really do anything with that, though. He's going to be crazy popular, and I think you should play a really healthy amount. If you want to make a micro stand, go ahead. But I don't see any reason why you would want to completely fade Bijan this week. That just
Of
seems
course not.
stupid.
But I do think there's creative ways to get different because Carolina is such a sieve defensively that there are weird ways that this Atlanta team could score where you have the chalky Bijan, but you've also done something a little bit different.
Yeah. And chat's bringing this up. This is very true. Atlanta loves to get Tyler Algier involved. And but I don't think it's a given that where I think this breaks down, Atlanta being up 25, and I know it's for, to illustrate the point. Like, I think there's just as good a chance that Atlanta loses the game.
So do I. Carolina is a home divisional dog, 0-2 is 5.5-point dogs against the Falcons team that, sure, they beat up on JJ McCarthy in Minnesota last week, but this is not a juggernaut offense either. So, and it's really not the best defense. Their pass rush outside of last week hasn't been strong in years. So maybe those young guys on the D-line can make a difference, but would you be shocked if Carolina won this game? I know your answer is not at all.
Oh, no, definitely not. So that helps, obviously. This is a good game. This game has shootout potential. Yeah, I could see that. Targeting Carolina, you could go that way too and run it back with Bijan.
I'm with Sotex here. Look, they have Ted McMillan. My guy Jatavian Sanders had a bunch of targets last game, although Bryce Young had to throw a ton. And Chuba, I don't know. Chuba just every single week seems like a pretty safe play. He's playing the large majority of snaps. He's getting a ton of touches. He's used as a pass catcher out of the backfield. To me, a guy like Chuba Hubbard is always viable no matter the game script. There aren't that many of those guys in the league at a low 6K that you could say that about. Look, first two games, were they great, Ben? Nah, they weren't great, but still 16 total looks, 6 of which were targets when they played from behind. 21 total looks in week 1, also playing from behind. The guy's just going to be used. And I never have an issue getting to Chuba Hubbard, ever.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't have it in front of me, and Bryce Young threw the ball an absurd amount of times.
I think 56 times.
Yeah, that checks out because in the fourth quarter he must have had 25 pass attempts. That's not an exaggeration.
55, sorry.
Yeah, and like Renfro had a huge game. They were doing all sorts of nonsense. But when you really drill it down, you still have main weapons there. You mentioned McMillan. He's going to be really good. He is good.
He had a 100-yard game. Again, I know 55 pass attempts, but
he's a player. And so this is a good game to target. It's not an opportunity cost to get Bijan either. That's the other thing. It's an ownership situation, but it's not like, if I play Bijan, I can't play Saquon or I can't play Bucky Irving. Yeah, you can. You can really double up top on running backs.
It's a great game stack. I know it's only a 43.5-point total. I think it's a pretty good game stack, and I have no problem getting to some of this. You have McCaffrey against Arizona, Barkley against the Rams. I wonder if people are going to look at Barkley's performances against the Rams last season and want to jam him, Ben. I mean, he played the Rams twice, and I think he had 4 50-plus yard rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams quietly almost knocked the Eagles out last year. That got a little greasy at the end.
They're a good football team.
Yeah, the Rams are good, but I mean, I hope people don't look to that because I like Saquon this week, but not for that reason.
Right.
I just like him. Yeah, this is where it gets really tricky. I think I'm more willing to make some radical pivots in the running back range, more so than with my quarterbacks, to be honest. I think the quarterbacks, the depth of that is pretty weak. There's some guys in this 6K range not going to be popular that I really think have some potential home run upside this week.
I think the 5K too, man.
I haven't even gotten that far.
Well, Kenneth Walker. Most people aren't going to want to play Kenneth Walker because of Zach Charbonnet, right? Like that's a thing. I'm pretty sure people are are not thrilled about Zach Charbonnet getting, eating into some of that work. Zach Charbonnet against the Steelers, Ben, but without looking, do you know what he had rushing in that game? As far as
no idea.
Can you just take a guess? He had 15 carries.
I would have said 10 carries for what? 42 yards.
For 10 yards.
Well, that's in the Xavier Legette bucket.
Yeah.
He had 8 targets for -2 yards.
Did he have -2?
That's hard to do.
He's not good. He's not good at all.
No.
But point being, I think Charbonnet against the Saints looked good. Here's something I would consider, and I want to talk about it right now. Walker. JSN plus Walker lineups.
Yeah.
With no Darnold.
Yeah. To me, that's similar to Bijan. It's a slightly downgraded version of Bijan London.
Sure. Yeah. Slightly downgraded, but I think lesser owned.
Oh, definitely lesser owned. There's no doubt. But there's some guys here. This is one I haven't targeted him at all. Yesterday didn't really count because it was a 2-gamer, so I had him there. What do you think about Genty this week?
I don't know, man. I do not know. I liked him yesterday.
So did I.
You did too? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, again, it's 2 games. So, I had 4 running backs to choose from, really.
Yeah, I know. I just liked him in general yesterday, though.
So I thought I bet him to score. I thought that he was going to have a much bigger game.
So did I. And it looked out of the gate like he was. He lowered his head on that one, picked up a nice 13-yard run, right, on the second drive. I'm like, all right, here we go. And then he just fell off. But I have him written down. I think he's fine. I'd like him a lot more if Jaden Daniels doesn't play.
Oh, yeah. I'm operating under that assumption.
Then I would actually like him. I think you see a more competitive game. Carson Wentz can't keep plays alive like Daniels does with his feet. I'd be okay with
Mariota,
that.
But yes.
Oh, sorry. Wentz. Wentz was the backup prior to years ago. 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Anyway, Chuba Hubbard, Kenneth Gainwell. I think Pollard. God damn.
It's all deadly. I'm just keeping you on edge.
I appreciate you. Tony Pollard.
Yes. Tony.
DeAndre Swift against Dallas, too. What about him?
What about him with Caleb?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
I think so.
Sure. They've had tough matchups for what it's worth. Detroit at home, that's not an easy matchup. That Detroit defense is healthy. I still think Brian Flores' defense against a young quarterback is really tough to beat. So this is the easiest matchup he's had so far.
No doubt about that. I'm still thinking about Genty. The thing it's been 2 games, so I don't want to overreact. I believe this is the type of guy that's going to have some home runs. It's like his longest run is 13 yards. That's not going to get it done. He's not that type of back. He's like 4-3-3, 71. That's his thing. He's not like I'm going to get 8, 9, 14, 12. No, he needs home run plays, and he hasn't gotten loose yet. I do think that's inevitable.
I'm with you on Genty. I'm very much willing to play him. 67's fine. Salary's pretty soft again. I'm with you. I don't love guys like Kyron. I don't love Alvin Kamara in this spot, even though you definitely saw his workload with 21. That's really encouraging. The fact that he saw 27 touches last game, Ben, very encouraging. Maybe you don't fully sleep on Kamara, but that's a tough matchup in Seattle. Breece Hall, brutal matchup. Travis Etienne, also a tough matchup. That Houston defense is going to cause problems. And you saw Tootin get worked in even more. So I'm probably off of that.
Yeah.
Both of our guys got worked in more. Scatterboo and Tootin this week.
Both
of them scored.
That's all very true.
I got to ask you about Krosky Merritt, though. I'm sorry. Let me just because I don't want to go till 2 o'clock. But Krosky Merritt, now that Austin Eckler is out with the ruptured Achilles?
No. Not for me.
Okay.
Just because I still don't think it seems like a situation, even if 10 running backs got hurt,
I agree with you.
they will always perpetually have multiple backs. They just don't want that type of dynamic.
Right. Rodriguez will be active this week. He wasn't in each of the first 2 weeks. McNichols will get opportunities, and it really won't change much at all. So, yeah, I agree. The only other thing is, like, is he viable because if Mariota – well, no, because Mariota can run too.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Jordan Mason will be the chalk at running back. It'll be Bijan and Jordan Mason. Those will be the two chalkiest backs. I'd be lying to you if I told you I didn't love Jordan Mason this week, though, assuming Aaron Jones is out. I don't know how you couldn't.
No, he'll have one of the highest anytime touchdown scorer props relative to a price this week, and he should.
Anybody else that's cheap? Oh, would you consider Quinshawn Judkins?
No.
Before you scoff at it, I think he may be. I think he may just take over the bell cow role this week.
I don't think that's the case.
No.
And on top of that, I don't like this situation against Green Bay.
No, they're 8.5-point dogs.
That's the problem. Yeah.
But I disagree with you in that you don't think he could just take over as the bell cow.
I do think that. I just don't think it's going to be this week.
Okay. He played 20 snaps last week, 13 touches.
Listen, I think Judkins going to be really good.
I'm just saying, when I see usage like that, 10 carries and 3 targets on 20 snaps, this to me feels like a team that's saying, all right, we're young, we're inexperienced, we're going to go out there and try and win some football games. This is this guy's first game back. He was barely at training camp. I don't think he even was at training camp or not in the preseason, whatever it may be. If that type of usage to me is just nuts for your first game after not even being with the team for over a month, man. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. I think at $5K flat, I'm willing to at least take a couple large field tournament stabs at a $5,000 Judkins. I wouldn't be shocked if this guy sees 20 touches this game.
I would be shocked, yeah.
Okay. 13 touches on 20 snaps.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Well, I mean,
I'm glad we disagreed. I'm not trying to convince you of anything.
No. I mean, and listen, if we get crazy word that Judkins is taking over, sure. But I
don't want that word. I definitely don't want us to get word that Judkins is taking over. I want to just play some Quinshawn Judkins and see if his 13 touches can go to 20 or 18.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Dylan Sampson's not the answer. Jerome Ford isn't the answer. Anyway.
I agree with that.
What about you guys in chat? Anybody else we haven't touched on? Ben, any running backs we haven't touched on before we get to wide receivers?
No. Pay up. Most people are going to pay up. I'll be paying up.
I had a bunch of bets on Ramondre Stevenson in week 1, and it just turns out that I was very, very right. I was just a week early.
Happens all the time.
It pissed me off.
Yeah.
Really pissed me off. I had most rushing yards in the game at plus 380. Ramondre over his rushing prop. Ramondre, all of this. And then, because I'm thinking this guy's still going to be the lead back, and they suck against Las Vegas. And then you see Ramondre ripping off 55-yard receptions, just crushing it. Brutal. Anyway, talk about wide receiver. Before we do, for those of you guys who are unaware, you should be aware of this. If you want to get the Sims for free, Ben and I discuss these tools all the time. This is how we get leverage. It is, when we talk about ownership and, how to get contrarian, we can very easily do this without having to make, the brain trust decisions between ourselves. We can go straight to the tools. If you haven't done so yet, use the link in the description. Tap it if you're on your phone, click it if you're on your computer. Click claim offer on any of these sports books, okay? Any of them that you're not on yet, or pick'em sites in the event that you're in non-legal betting states. Sign up, make a deposit, $5 or $10 is the minimum. Take a screenshot of your welcome email and your first settled bet after you place a bet, and just email us at support@stokastic.com with the screenshots. Tell us what you want. Every single one of these books or pick'em sites equals a free month of core sims. You can literally free roll through the entirety of the NFL season. And I know you may look at this and go, man, I don't want to go through all of these steps. Listen, Ben will tell you, signing up on these sports books and collecting the deposit bonuses, collecting the bonus bets should be a no-brainer decision whether you're trying to get the tools or not. So do that. Hell, maybe you don't even get around to emailing us for a week. You still have your deposit bonus. You still have your bonus bets that you didn't have before. So it's kind of a 1-2 punch, Ben, in the sense that you should just be grabbing these anyway.
There's no doubt, and I don't think about everything like this in life, but sometimes I try to force myself. Just think of it like an hourly. All right, this is not going to take an hour. It's not even going to be close. But say it even did. How much value are you getting in that 1 hour? You're talking about between the book and the tools is certainly over $100. Would you?
Yeah.
If someone
that's
said,
actually a really good way. Yeah. How valuable is your time? Are you willing to? And it's not an hour. It's about.
No, it's not. But even if it's a half hour, like, would you do a half hour work for $150?
Of course you would.
I would. That's well above my hourly.
And an investment into tools that are going to potentially make you more money.
Yeah. So it's just nobody likes signing up for shit. I certainly don't. It's a pain in the ass. You got to do this. But for a 5 or 10 minute task to get a month of tools that can hopefully put you right in the Hall of Fame, it's a really cool offer, honestly.
And it doesn't hurt that we had, 3 milli winners with the tools in the Avatar last year.
I have to win the milli. I need to win it. That's really
sometimes in my head, I think about waking up and seeing the alert on my phone.
Yeah, that's what I thought this morning.
Instead I just got fucking cleaned out.
I'm gonna have to join the Vipers street gang.
All right. You guys at least make this well worth it for us, because some weeks are harder than others. You know what I mean? What do you want to do with the wide receiver position? And I'm not asking you just as like hey, where are you going at wide receiver? What I mean is, it's a really deep position again. Is there any specific way to play this, or are we just basing it off of stacks, game stacks? I'm looking at the mid tier and the lower tier this week. It's just loaded with talent, man.
Definitely loaded. There's no doubt. It's also, I think it's more fascinating actually up top, because clearly if you have elite wide receivers, many of them now are without a quarterback. So what does that do to ownership? What does that do to play? Because when you look at the big names, you've got Jamar Chase, terrible matchup, and he's got Browning. Then you've got CeeDee Lamb. I'd say favorable matchup, and he's got Dak. Then you've got Justin Jefferson. I'd say favorable matchup, but he's got Wentz. So it's a really weird breakdown. And then you got Nico Collins, who I do like. I want to see what happens to the alpha receivers who are without a quarterback. I may just isolate them and not take, I'm not playing Browning, but I still think I'll have some Chase.
I might as well. The only question now is, like, Chase price point is one of a Joe Burrow quarterback, but also, is that just going to be the reason that nobody plays him? And if that's the case,
that's what I mean.
Fine by me. Oftentimes, suboptimal or subpar quarterbacks are going to target the guy who is dominant. And you saw that last week. 16 targets. I don't know how many of those targets were from Browning, Ben.
A lot.
But 16 targets. It was only an 11.8 yards per reception, but that is massive, massive volume. And if that's the case, I think you're right on the money there, that you don't need to have the most elite quarterback. If this pulls ownership away from Chase at an elite price point, might be the perfect week to play him.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. Yes, efficiency might go down, but Browning, and I saw it because I bet the Bengals and then I bet them again because I thought Burrow was going to come back. Browning went with a great strategy, which is let me throw the ball to my best player all the time.
Yep.
All the time. So if Chase has 20 targets this week, and I don't think that's impossible, he's going to get there just on volume. So keep that in mind. I'm not shying away there. I never play Nakua, and I never get him right. I once again probably am not going to get there.
I don't think I will in this spot personally. It reminds me that the Jamar Chase thing, when you mentioned the 20 targets, I remember Devontae Adams having like multiple 20 target games when Aiden O'Connell had to come in 2 years ago in Las Vegas. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And that could happen. You're right. Did you see that T. Higgins touchdown? That was nasty.
I mean, T. Higgins is an absolute beast.
These two guys hit him, both of them fall over, and he just coasts into the end zone. What a sick.
Yeah. There was
How many targets did he have in this game?
I think like a standard amount.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was Chase all the time. Just
if Browning was 4K, I'd double stack the shit out of this.
I just don't think. Yeah, I mean, so would I, but you just don't. I think people are going to be like, "Oh, I'm not playing Browning, so I don't need. I'll play Jefferson. I'll play Lamb. You can still play Chase. I mean, Odunze is going to be crazy popular. I think that would be my guess.
I think he will too. He's one of only like 8 players with 20 plus targets on the season. I mean, you know what's crazy? I was doing my Twitter thread for like week 1 takeaways and overreactions. So there's 8 players that have 20 plus targets so far this year, and 2 of them are on the same team, like 2 pairs of them. So 4 of the 8. You have Juwan Jennings and Chris Olave. And then who's the other 2?
Juwan Johnson.
Oh, no. Who did I say? Juwan Jennings. Sorry, Juwan Johnson.
Yeah.
And then also Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing about the Saints part is like those guys are so much cheaper relative to the Rams.
I like JSN a lot. Again, I think it's really tough to get away from JSN.
Man, how the hell that? You know what's disturbing when you gave me that stat? I played Olave both weeks, and I'm thinking, you're telling me that this guy's on the target leader? He has done absolutely nothing for me.
I know.
Ugh.
No, I know. He's tied for 3rd in targets. Malik Neighbors and CeeDee Lamb are 1 and 2 respectively with 25 and 24 targets. JSN has 22. Jacoby Myers has 22. Chris Olave has 22. So yeah, I mean, remarkable that this guy has 20. He has 22 targets and 108 yards. That's
horrendous.
That's pitiful. Pitiful.
Yeah.
But he has a 31% target share. So, what are you supposed to do? JSN has a 43% target share. And not so soon on Cooper Kupp being washed. I'm not playing him this week at his price point. He had a decent game last time. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That's a good game.
No, it's fine. It's just one of those things. It's like, it's a good game, but all it does is kind of just throw uncertainty to the rest because I don't think he's really playable still.
I'm not playing him. Nah, I'd rather play Marvin Harrison Jr. I could see a kind of bounce back game for him after a slow start to the year. If Christian Gonzalez is out, give me all the DK Metcalf. That Patriots secondary without Gonzalez is bad. Metcalf, I could see him being one of my highest owned players this week.
Yeah, I like that. And honestly, I don't think he'll be lost, particularly because of the stack. But if everybody is going Caleb, Rome, Moore, or, CD, Pickens is drawing like 7 long PIs every week. Eventually, he's going to catch one of those. Yep. So keep that in mind.
Greg and I were talking about that the one day where he's like, he wasn't really targeted at all against Philly because he only had 4 targets. Yeah, there were 2 like 50-yard PI defensive pass interference penalties that put them in range. So
yeah, he's going to have some. I'm putting him in the Gabe Davis. I've always coined it like the Gabe Davis bucket. You're going to have to take some bad performances. George Pickens is going to have multiple games where he has like 30 this year.
He might have a 40 spot, honestly.
Yeah. And he's going to have one where he has 4.
Yep. Also, I totally understand the Gabe Davis bucket. I get your reference. I'm with you. He's much better than Gabe Davis ever was.
He certainly is. It's just his role on the offense is so erratic. It's just not stable at all. Jerry Jeudy's another one. Jerry Jeudy's going to have some games.
I kind of like Jeudy this week.
So do I. But you never know what you're going to get. You have no idea when it's going to happen.
Could Jeudy be the 2% owned guy that pops off, I think he could this week
100%.
in a tough matchup against Green Bay.
Well, that's the thing with all the guys we're talking about. When this is the actual truth. When they're 30%, they're not more likely to have that game than when they're 1%.
Great. That's a great, like, it's almost matched up. It makes no difference.
No difference whatsoever. It's just their ceiling is perpetually 40, but their floor is perpetually 5, regardless of matchup.
Dude, that's such a good way to look at it, and you couldn't be more accurate. I mean, how many games last year did Jerry Jeudy have like 2% ownership and go and just nuke the slate in a tough matchup where no one wanted to play him, and then everyone plays him the following 2 weeks against like the Panthers and the Bengals, and he blanks.
Yep.
That's a great. You're absolutely right. So what you're saying is we should actually not only be unafraid to play him this week or in tough matchups, but more willing to do so because he can be just as bad in the good matchups.
100%. You want to embrace, like, when those guys are absolutely at the bottom, that's the most potent they can be.
I love that. I think you're spot on, man. I mentioned JSN, a bunch of these other guys. Who else? Oh, I do have one for you. I'm really concerned about the Eagles offense, and I'm not surprised by this. Their defense, they grabbed Zadarius Smith, and he immediately was good. Jahad Campbell, Ben, this dude looks elite already as a rookie. Mm-hmm. So they lose all of these guys, and now they're just good again, right? You have one guy in the secondary who blows, and they got to get him out of there. But aside from that, do you look towards like an A.J. Brown this week? Would you? I still don't know if it's worth it. I really don't think with such low passing volume, do you really need to roll the dice on him or Devontae Smith? I'd rather go to Jerry Jeudy.
I would as well. I'm not completely ruling it out, but it's the problem with the Eagles is that they're very, very good. And exactly. So unless
they have a very good offensive line and run game,
you're not going to, I watched a lot of that game, and it was so clear that they didn't need to throw.
Yep.
Not that they couldn't throw, not that it wouldn't have worked, but it was just like they're really not going to do much with this. Yeah, they took a shot to Smith a couple times, and he got hurt, and then he caught the other one. But, like, it's few and far between, and they know they don't need to do that, and that's really difficult.
The truth is the Eagles are oftentimes a very boring football team by this time.
Yeah, they just win, though.
But that's the winning formula. Boring.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. Like 4th and 2, they'll just shove the line 2 yards instead of trying a trick play. They don't need it.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, any other? I'll give you a couple. We mentioned Moore Odunze. We don't need to get into Drake London. Talked about Pickens. I think Debo could be. Maybe they use Debo in some interesting ways. If you have no Jaden Daniels, I don't love him there though, but I think he'd be fine. 2 guys I'll just throw out there at you. One is Darnell Mooney, 4,500. Yet another game back. Troy Franklin is the clear number 2 in Denver, it appears right now. It appears he has surpassed Marvin Mims, Ben. He now has more targets than Cortland Sutton on the season. So him and Iomanor are 2 guys that if you're looking to go cheap, do you love it? No, but they are emerging as the clear wide receiver 2s on their team.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't love it, but it is true. Either. Yeah.
But I just wanted to point it out so people know, at least in coming weeks.
Even Green Bay. Like, Green Bay has got some thinning out there because of, what happened. Jaden Reed is hurt. Obviously, Watson's not there, but there's still no clear cut. Golden is another guy that, he's done absolutely nothing. If he continues to not do anything, he's going to end up in the high 3s at some point, and he's still a burner. Like, they're giving him a couple chances a game. Dobbs, whatever his name is on the inside is probably where you'd look. But that's those are just like flyers to round out lineups, I would say.
Yeah. If I had anyone else, I really don't. It's funny you mentioned Jeudy, though. I had him starred here to talk about.
Yeah, he's on my list as well.
All right. Tight end position. Let's go. There's not an insane amount here. You have Bowers and McBride up top. McBride, again, I could see being lower owned against San Francisco. I would jump on that for sure. Tucker Kraft is 47. Tyler Warren's a stud, man. 4,400.
Ding, ding, ding. That's the answer. That's the answer.
I think so too. He's a stud. That kid's awesome.
Amazing player.
1,000-yard rookie.
Yeah, if they can keep Daniel Jones from not being terrible, and he looks great so far. Yeah, Tyler Warren is amazing. He's really good.
Jake Ferguson
played him last week.
Well, he was a good play last week.
He was. I got tight end right. I had Juwan Johnson and I had Ferguson, and even Fannin was fine.
Fannin was fine. Yep.
It didn't matter though.
Jatavian Sanders is 3,300. Not the craziest idea in the world. The problem is you still have to go back and reduce the pass attempts for Bryce Young if you want to truly gauge what these guys were seeing last week, right? Mm-hmm. I think Sanders saw 9 targets, which you go, oh shit, man, 9 targets, that is fantastic. But 9 targets on 55 passes.
Target share.
Yeah, what'd you say?
It's like a 16% target share.
You did that in your head?
I mean, it's around that.
It is. It's 16%.
Yeah,
nice.
That's what I mean.
Did not do it in my head. But yeah, it's a 16% target share. Yeah. So it's if he's throwing 55 times, then great. I'll take 15% target share. But if he's not, that's a little bit of a problem.
Yep, 100%. It also goes the other direction, where it's God, this guy only got 5 targets. It's they threw 21 times.
Yep.
If they're trailing this week, that's an 8-9 target game.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, 25% target share looks nice on 40 pass attempts.
Yeah, that'll play. Richie Smalls. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Bringing this up on the screen. Just got my email for 2 free months of Stokastic. Fanatics and Chalkboard, 2 good options.
There you go, dude. Yeah, it's simple.
2 months.
Ryan gets back to people pretty quickly, man.
That's that's by Thanksgiving. I know he's good basically till mid-November now.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, Richie, and was it actually difficult? Probably took 20 total minutes. By the way, that's a beautiful dog on there.
I knew you were going to comment on the dog.
Look at that, man. It's a monster. What is that, a Mastiff?
Frenchie.
It looked like a Mastiff. I couldn't tell what kind. But anyway, I think the answer probably is Warren. I'd go back to Ferguson. But, there's also the point, too. Dak Prescott threw a ton as well. Ferguson typically isn't going to have 10 targets.
No, definitely not. I like Kyle Pitts. I don't know why his price is dropping.
I like him too.
He's starting to figure it out, I think.
Yeah, Richie said it took 20 minutes. And by 20 minutes, it's total. That's for what, 2 free months?
2 months for 20 minutes?
20 minutes for lunch break. For 2 sports books. So 1 would take 10 minutes. Matthew, how do I get the 2 free months? I mentioned it earlier. I mentioned it every show, man. Yep. Just go use the link in the description.
Yep.
Where it says sign up with any of our sportsbook partners, get the Sims free. Follow these 4 steps. It's that easy. You got to use the claim offer here, but other than that, you can get as many months as you want, and you can mix and match sports too. So yeah. Any other tight ends?
Nah, I'll let the sim do the work there.
Okay.
Warren, I might jam Warren.
Yeah.
I think he's the most mispriced player potentially on the slate, along with Jordan Mason.
Okay. Wow.
He's really good.
He's awesome. I'm a huge fan. I'll tell you what. I'll probably go back to some Juwan Johnson this week too. If
they don't have options.
They don't. And if he's going to sit sub 4K, and Rattler, look, say what you want. He's not good, but Rattler has at least been able to do enough. He had 3 touchdown passes last week. He's been able to do enough in back-to-back games where you're still getting some serviceable fantasy performances.
Yeah. It's the other thing with the Saints in particular that I don't think we're weighing properly. Every year for the past handful of years, We have had Taysom Hill doing all sorts of stuff on this field, from
That's
tight
true.
ends to quarterback sneaks to all this stuff. He is not a factor right now for obvious reasons. It's clearing. There's a lot more clarity in what New Orleans is doing this year, and you see it with Kamara, Johnson, and Olave. They're getting theirs, and they're going to continue to see the volume. Touchdowns can't fix that.
No, you can't, especially on a team that's not going to score many of them, right?
Yeah.
But when you look at, 22 targets over 2 games, this team is often going to play from behind, very likely going to play from behind against Seattle, right? Seattle, I think, is a 7-point favorite here, 7.5. Yeah. I like Seattle in this game, by the way. I think this is the game where the bottom falls out of New Orleans defense.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be an extremely popular survivor pick, and they should be.
Give me one defense under 3K before we get out of here. Give me Brown.
The Titans.
I like that. Yeah.
I know I just talked about Warren and Daniel Jones, and all of that is still true. There's another side to that coin where it goes absolutely haywire.
Couldn't agree more. I think Patriots, too. I mentioned I like DK Metcalf, but I could see the Patriots defense against Rodgers having themselves a day as well.
Yeah. Yep. Honestly, the Cowboys defense.
You know what? Sure.
Everyone's going to play Caleb, and I will too. There's a chance that Caleb throws 4 picks.
There absolutely is. And if that happens to be the case, and you're saying, all right, what would I rather have? Would I rather have Caleb Williams at ultra mega chalk, or would I rather just do things a little bit differently? That's one way to do it. I hear you. Guys, by the way, in the event that you haven't done so yet, are you guys following Ben and me over on Tails for all the free bets this year? Having a ton of fun with this? Let me know if you're not, because the link is down there. You see it right there. Follow Ben on Tails. Follow Loughy on Tails. Pretty sweet, man. I was happy about this one. My Genty one did not play out. I got one for this week, Ben. How about this? I'm going Chiefs minus 5.5 points against the Giants. I think public sentiment is going to come in on the Giants, and everyone's going to be down on the Chiefs. I think Worthy probably plays this week. I know it feels gross because they've clearly lost their luster, but I posted this one yesterday, 100% free, by the way. I kind of like the Chiefs this week.
I'll probably be with you there, but I'll say this. I'll definitely be on that feed with you. If you are looking for free content, free picks, bets from us, literally go to Tails. That's where you want to be. I will be. Some of you probably don't care about this, but I bet some of you do. Champions League is today. Monster slates. I'll be dropping some free soccer picks to get us through the afternoon. You see my beauty. Look at that. That's the one right there. That parlay should have gotten through last night. Over 5-1.
Did Ibuka finish under 51.5?
Oh yeah, he was way under.
He just had that one touchdown early.
By the way, I think he got hurt.
He may have. Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed that they wrapped him and he did not catch a ball after that.
All you needed was for them to hold.
Yes.
So look, you go in, find our names, just click follow. That's it. And then if you want Ben's VIP access, do that as well.
Start with
my picks are all free on here, but man, it's fun. We're building an awesome platform here. Yeah. To follow anyone's free. Mitch is awesome too, like DFS and Donuts. This dude, Mitch is awesome. You should be following him as well. His write-ups, his breakdowns, his picks or his bets are great. I trust him because he tracks everything. Some really good ones out there. So poke around, man. You got a few minutes today. Well worth just joining up. It's free. You create a free account. It takes 2 seconds to do so. So yeah, man, I'm excited about that. But
it's gonna be a good day.
Anyway, follow. Go ahead.
I said it's gonna be a good day. I'm excited to gamble on various soccer teams.
Yeah, man. Hey, follow Ben at Jazzraz DFS. Jazzraz Bets. He switched it up on me. Me at Loughy _D, LOUGHY _D. Thanks for hanging out as always. Tell your friends about the show. Come hit us up on Tails, and we'll see you back here for the next one. Bye-bye.